I'm Joe Ironside from Aberystwyth University, and I'm here on the rocky shore in Aberystwyth today to do some research for the Ecostructure project. We're interested in how climate change is affecting the distribution of species of wildlife along the shores of Ireland and Wales. Because as the winters get warmer, as the climate changes, species which previously occurred only in the south are now moving further north. Now we're particularly interested in 3 species of snails because there's evidence that these snails are extending their range further north as the climate warms. Today I'm going to show you how to identify those 3 snails because we need your help in recording where they are occurring now along the coasts of Ireland and Wales. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how to identify those 3 snails, and then what I'd like you to do is go out to your local coastline, or when you're on holiday, go down to the rocky shore, see if you can identify those snails, and then send in your records to us, and that will help us to know how these snails are moving as the climate changes. I'm here with my family, Matilda, aged 4, Fergus, aged 7, and Emily, aged 10. And together we're going to be climbing around on the rocks looking for snails, and we're going to introduce you to some of the most easily identified and beautiful of our seashore snails.
Daddy, is this a purple topshell?
Yeah, that's right, that's a purple topshell. How do you know it's a purple topshell?
Purple stripe.
Purple stripes. What else has it got?
A hole at the bottom.
It has, it's got a hole at the bottom. And that hole is called its umbilicus, like its belly button. Do you know how else you can tell it's a topshell? It's got a circular opening, hasn't it? A circular operculum. And is it shiny on the top? Yeah. It's got a shiny finish just to the top of the spire there, kind of mother of pearl finish.
This is a dogwhelk. It's got a curly shell. You can tell it's a dogwhelk because it's got little teeth all along the edge of the inside and a siphon.
So this is one of our carnivorous snails, isn't it? Do you know what it eats?
Barnacles.
It does. Round here it eats barnacles, but in other parts of the country it feeds mainly on mussels. And do you know how it catches them, how it feeds on them?
It slides onto them and dissolves them.
Yeah, its mouth parts are like a kind of drill, and it drills down through the barnacle and through its shell and then sucks out all the juices inside. So this is the vampire of the snail world.
This is a winkle. You can tell it's a winkle because it's got an ear-shaped thing at the bottom.
Yeah, that's an edible winkle. So you can tell that it isn't a topshell, just as you say, because it's got an ear-shaped aperture, whereas the topshells have a round aperture. And is it shiny on top? No, it's not shiny on top, so that's another good way of telling the winkles and the topshells apart. Thanks, Fergus. So the children have been having a bit of a competition to find the next snail on our list, and this is the common topshell, but it doesn't seem to be terribly common around here. What's that you got there, Emily?
A common topshell.
Yay! So how can you tell it's a common topshell?
Because it's still got the round aperture, but it's got no umbilicus. It's just got a little tooth. And you can tell it's a topshell because it's got the shiny bit on the top.
Brilliant.
And it's got no purple stripes, so it's not a purple topshell.
Yeah, quite right. So that's the common topshell. It's a bit bigger than the purple topshell, same kind of general shape, though not quite as flat, and it doesn't have this umbilicus, but it does have a tooth. So hopefully we've now convinced you that these snails really are easy to identify. If you need more help identifying these species, we've produced a leaflet which is available on this website. You can have a look at it on the screen, and if you think you need to, you can print it out and take it down to the shore with you when you go to look for snails. And knowing a bit about these snails, where they occur, how common they are, can tell us a lot about how climate change is affecting the organisms on our rocky shores. So next time you visit a rocky shore, have a look for these 3 snails. Make a note of which ones you find, take some pictures, and then get in touch with us. You can find the Ecostructure Seashore Snail project at this web address, and if you click on Map Now, it will allow you to upload your own observations, pictures, everything like that, and this will tell us where these snails are occurring, how common they are, and by doing this we'll be able to find out more about how climate change is affecting the wildlife on our coasts.